There are often false premises behind people's questions or objections. They ask a question, but behind the question is another issue. So let me take a hot issue as an example. The question of homosexuality. So what do you think about homosexuality? The question comes. Now I know that very often there are a number of premises and prejudices coming along with the question. I like to think about it as a number of balloons filled with air. And the first thing I need to do before I actually answer the question, well, what do I think about same-sex relationships, is to try to pick hole in those balloons so all the air comes out. So there is an openness to discuss the real issue. So, for example, this issue of same-sex relationships. I would start by saying, well, as a Christian, I view all human beings as created in the image of God, and therefore we are equal in dignity and worth. So I have a very high view of the human person, regardless of that individual's feelings or definitions of themselves or sexual experiences. We are all in the image of God. Secondly, as a Christian, I view all of us sitting in the same boat. We are broken, fallen. To use a more biblical term, we are sinful human beings. And since we are all at the bottom, you cannot look down on anyone else. And therefore, homophobia or contempt is out of the picture. That's not how a Christian can view another fellow human being. In terms of how I think about our lives together in society, I am all for a free society. So I think you should be free to choose your way of life, and I should have my freedom to choose my way of life. And that goes also for what kind of sexual choices you do. Of course, there are some limits. You are not allowed to hurt someone and so on, but generally, we should give each other freedom to live our own lives. So, then I've tried to pick hole in a number of balloons, which makes people really a lot of tension here. So then let's go to the real issue. And that is, of course, what is the will of God? For me as a Christian, that is what is the focus for me. Is there meaning in sexuality? And what is then that meaning? And then I have to try to explain the Christian view of the meaning of sex and the meaning of us existing as male and female. But that's an illustration of how we can try to find the premises behind the question. And in this case, the premise is you have a low view of the human being. No, I have not. So I need to show that. You are showing disrespect or contempt towards other human beings. No, I'm not. That's not the issue. You are trying to force me to live in a certain way, so you want to have a kind of authoritarian grip on society. No, that's not what I'm standing for. So this is a way of undermining their false premises in order for us to then have a better discussion on, so how should we view sexuality?